book club tonight. You in?
Meet you there.
After you. Hunter.
I should not be this nervous about what you all thought of the book. Even the best translations from Kree lose subtext.
I liked this book, but I can't explain why. Maybe I'll figure it out as we discuss it.
Can we start?
I am ready.
Carol, this was your book, so you can start.
I'll throw it back to you. What did you think of the book?
I had a rough time with it.
You didn't like it?
Didn't say that. At first, I spent more time referencing the glossary than reading the book.
Sounds familiar. What changed?
I noticed a kind of rhythm to the words. I began to see them as lyrics to a song. All that dry talk faded and it finally came together. The lyrics made it feel much bigger than a chapter on Kree farming implements.
Exactly. This book was about much more than farming.
Exactly. The rhythm to it helped paint a bigger picture. Once I caught on, I kept reading and didn't rely on the glossary. I picked everything up from context. That's when I realized none of this was about farming. I'm surprised how much stuck with me, despite some concepts being legit alien to me.
Agreed. For me, the rhythm wasn't lyrics. It was more like the book was written to a cadence.
That's why I had you read it on your Spark. The mnemonic lexicon won't work with a hard copy.
The what now?
An ancient Kree technique. It helps you remember text that would otherwise be considered... There's no Kree word for stuffy, but essentially that. But all that's packaging. Let's get into the book itself. Hunter, did you figure out what the bloom and the harvest represent?
The bloom represents the range of a fortress. The harvest happens when enemies enter that range.
That's one vital part. You're right, the bloom can represent overlapping fields of fire, but it's more than one concept. At the time of the book's writing, the Kree cared most about integrating captured territory while still expanding their empire. Conquered worlds came with people. Rather than treat them as prisoners, the Kree provided them with most benefits enjoyed by Kree citizens. This period is known as the cultivation.
So the bloom was when they gained full citizenship under their conquerors.
No, it's when the world requested it. As long as they could feed themselves with Kree farming techniques and defend their world with Kree defenses, the request was granted with few exceptions.
So what's the harvest?
As part of the service required by the Empire, many of these new citizens began the cultivation of freshly conquered worlds.
So they were living examples. Show the newly conquered what they could achieve if they went along with the Empire.
That's also how vampires work.
Carol, I think I pieced together the Kree strategy.
Do tell.
It's all tied to agriculture. Every soldier knows you can't fight if you can't eat, but they applied this to their expansion. Till the field, sow the seed, pull the weed, reap the crop. It means the Kree wouldn't advance until the territory they took was secure and productive.
If your enemy knows how you will act, they can prepare.
Certainly, for other spacefaring empires. But most worlds had no idea the Kree existed until the invasion was underway. But the Kree expansion had momentum. They could afford to push harder because their whole weight was behind the advance. Unless a world could push just as hard, it would eventually fall under Kree control. Carol, how was that?
Close enough to impress me. The strategy in Volume 32 wasn't perfect, but it worked out for the Kree far more often than it failed.
What happened when it failed?
That's covered in Volume 33.
And that's book club. Steve, you're up next. What's your book?
The Mantle of Authority by General Chester Phillips.
Is this the one you keep saying I should read?
The very same. Now you have to. It's book club.
Before I forget, I asked Logan to join us next time.
He said yes?
So, why choose this book?
Volume 30 was way too spicy for this crowd.
Go on.
I'm kidding. It's relevant to what we're facing today. Hydra, the Lilin, your mom, they seem to have the upper hand all over the world.
I thought the Kree always won.
No, that's what the Kree convinced everyone to believe. We haven't lost until we start believing their propaganda. And that's how we defeat our enemy. As long as we're still standing, they're gonna fall.
I hope you enjoy the book I chose.
Why do you say that?
It's about people who weren't around until after your death. But I'm sure you'll figure out the context.
Okay, just between us, Carol's book was extremely weird, right?
Well, I learned a thing or two.
What, how to grow turnips on the moon?
That is harsh.
I didn't think it was that bad. But interstellar agriculture as a metaphor for planetary conquest, not what I expected.
You cannot let her know what you really think.
Really? I don't care to lie, especially to someone I'm into.
You do not need to lie, but you can deflect. Just do not offer your unvarnished opinion.
I don't know. She seems to respect people who are upfront with her.
Why take that risk?
Maybe you're right. Thanks, Hunter.
Of course.
You leaving?
I should leave.
Peace. Great choice, Carol. Good meeting.
Acunis ad sepulchrum, nam hac in hora, tutela contra inferna vocat.
Tension's so thick I could claw it to shreds.
How's your spark treating you? Any feedback? Acceptable answers are genius design, work of a genius, really anything involving the word genius.
It is well crafted. I use it every day. And it works, no matter where I am.
So you'd call it,
A work of genius?
perfect. That's a great pull quote for the press release.
What is a press release?
Don't worry about it.
Something or someone.
Family protects one another. Family loves one another. Family would do anything to save one another. Is that not what these heroes of yours preach? Then why abandon you at the doorstep of that wretched pretender Mephisto, my precious child?
My family saved me. It was the coward Blaze that sold me out.
Perhaps. Still, Blaze is no coward. And he is most certainly not a friend to Mephisto. For him to have made such a deal, all the more reason I must have the page.
I knew you were going to go there.
Hear me, child. Say what you will about Johnny Blaze, but his soul is one of the strongest I have ever encountered. He has carried the parchment for decades without succumbing to its call, battled angels and demons alike, and rattled the thrones of far too many gods.
It almost seems like you admire him.
I simply state the facts. Now he is free of the page, and another takes on the mantle of its guardian.
Robbie.
Do you really think he will prevail over the parchment of power?
You are right, Mother.
I am?
Robbie will never be Johnny Blaze. He will become something far greater. I gladly place my fate and that of the world in his hands.
My original offer still stands. If you truly value your friend, relieve him of his burden and surrender the parchment to me. Ignore my warning, and Blaze's betrayal will be a fond memory compared to what is coming next.
I hope the others slept better than I did.
I hope you don't mind the setting. Promise I'm not trying to put any, divine pressure on you. It's just that you've really helped me expand my horizons with all this supernatural stuff. And along with my horizons, I'm expanding Stark Industries.
What does that mean exactly?
I'm launching a new R&D department focused on magical items and potential new applications. It's gonna be huge. Bigger than huge. Stratospheric.
That sounds very exciting, Tony. I'm glad to see my teaching of the mystical is really making an impact on your life.
I'm really glad to hear you say that. You see, I need someone to lead this new division. I drew up a long list of names, read it over, then crumpled it up into a ball and threw it away. Right over there. There's only one person who's qualified to run that department for me.
Who?
You.
Me? Really?
You'll get your own office, staff, access to the most arcane, powerful artifacts I can track down, 401k, gym membership. The sky's the limit. Not even. There would be no limits. What do you say?
I'm sorry, Tony, but I respect the power of the arcane too much to poke it apart in a laboratory.
Oh, I was afraid you'd say that. But don't worry, I'm not someone who takes no for a first answer. I will be asking you many, many, many more times. Persuasion is kind of a Stark family specialty.
Oh, good.
Take your time. Think it over. We'll talk again when things are a little less, end of the worldy.
No, that can't be. I had that dream too.
Maybe it was something we ate.
Don't you mean someone?
I don't know. This stinks of a hex or a curse or something.
If we all had the same nightmare, does that mean we all share the same subconscious neurosis?
God, I hope not.
Probability of every single one of us walking the same dream state is 1 billion trillion to 1. It must mean something.
Yeah, it means we might want to have a little chat with our friendly neighborhood hunter.
Oh, I knew I should have let Mr. Murdoch copyright that for me.
I still can't get that image out of my mind.
Same here. And that's saying a lot these days.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this all.
There is... the parchment.
I knew that page would find a way of messing with our heads.
Or maybe it was warning us about you-know-who.
Did you have the dream?
What dream?
I'm here if you want to talk about it.
I'm assuming you had the same dream last night as the rest of us.
I'm pretty sure I did not. What was it?
I'll let Wanda tell you. She's better at communicating those kinds of things. All I can say is, what I saw last night Made me worry about you.
This is 100% Lilith. She is sowing the seeds of distrust between us by manipulating our dreams.
I was just thinking that. I was also thinking it could be the page, messing with our heads.
It is possible. The full effects of the Parchment of Power have gone largely unstudied.
And they will remain unstudied. Honestly, I can't wait for it to be destroyed.
So, you are not going to read it?
Hell no. And not just because I suspect it's giving me bad dreams. Because I know whatever Blaze read set him off so hard that he betrayed us.
The page most likely tricked him into believing the outcome was destined to be in Lilith's favor.
And that's why I'm not going to read it. Like, ever. I think Wanda wants to talk to you. I should stop monopolizing your time and let her get a word in. Oh, and Hunter?
Yes, Robbie?
Take care of yourself, okay? Like, really take care.
I always do. What is everyone so upset about?
A nightmare. We all had the same one last night, and it has unnerved us. Wondering if you had the same one too. Would be weird if you were the only one in the Abbey who didn't.
I'm surprised a nightmare has shaken the lot of you up so easily.
Not just a nightmare, Hunter, but a shared nightmare. About you.
What? What about me?
Let's just say you... something threw you above us. Your face twisted in what could only be described as extreme agony. And that's as far as I want to remember. I don't want to freak you out. I mean, it was just a dream, right?
Something you should know about me. I do not scare easily.
We should probably stop talking now. Everyone is staring.
They are staring?
Yep.
They really are frightened, are they not?
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, everyone here is just as afraid of me as they are of you.
The Parchment's days are numbered, Hunter. Come down to the forge.
Weird dreams, huh? Probably just the end of the world jitters. You get used to them.
Come on over, Hunter. I'm slinging some hot, fresh parchment blasting tech here.
Is this it? Is this the thing that will destroy the parchment?
You better believe it. That's the Gamma Accelerator, plus a few tips taken from dear old Dad's notes, plus a few crucial adjustments, plus some revolutionary new tech created on the fly.
Are you sure it will work?
I'm sure you've got a million questions. Come to the war room and you can hear my full spiel. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.
I'm quite pleased with these results.
I don't like these apocalypse willies. I don't think the others have any nerves left to fray.
Last night was no dream. Lilith intended us to witness that.
What have you got for me, boss? It was all a dream. Next time, could you dream of literally anything else? I'll even take one of those dreams where we're all late to class, and it's testing, and we're all in our pajamas. You know, the usual kind of dread. I'm trying to assume there's Lilith in all our heads left.
That said, something still isn't quite making sense. The whole picture is fuzzy. We are missing something.
It was terrifying.
I don't remember signing up for the Dream Sharing Club. I might unsubscribe. You are a capable...
Time's wasting, Hunter. But last night I felt like I couldn't wake up. Time to take it to the next level. You'd better not sell us out to your mother, Hunter.
Any time now, Tony.
Yeah, you're being a little extra you right now.
Forgive me if I'm a little excited that another one of my brilliant, one-of-a-kind inventions will thwart the apocalypse. Again.
Uh-huh. What's the plan?
No, not yet. Waiting until we have a quorum. Don't want to have to explain the complex calculations, algorithms, and other assorted science bits twice.
The Forge Demon was right. You do love the sound of your own voice.
Relax, will ya? When this works, victory
Seems like everyone had a restless night. I hate to ask this, but are you all right?
Of course I am.
You sure? The dream, I mean, nightmare we all had of you.
The one everyone had, but no one will tell me about?
Let's just say you should be grateful to have your collar to protect you.
Protect me from what, exactly?
Your mother, Hunter. Who else? If it wasn't for that collar, who knows how she might be able to manipulate you? I wouldn't put it past her to invade your dreams, the way I think she just invaded ours last night.
She knows the parchment is here.
And is desperate for it, I'm sure. We should all be on guard. In any case, best to keep our wits about us. I just don't want anything to happen to you, kiddo.
Maybe I shouldn't be so gung-ho.
I don't like to say that I do my best work under pressure, but I think this time, I even amazed myself.
This is impressive. You did this work incredibly fast.
Chug a few Stark drives and there's nothing you can't speed through. Hopefully the sugar crash doesn't hit me while we're destroying the page.
If you manage to stop the prophecy, I will be the first to sing your praises.
So you're promising karaoke? I'm gonna hold you to that, Hunter. This thing won't fail.
What about your father's research? Do you feel comfortable using it as the basis for this canon?
I'm only perfecting the stuff he started. It's like I took all the skeletons out of my family closet, dusted them off, and now they're going to do community service.
Is it powered by skeletons?
Don't worry, figure of speech. No actual skeletons in there, just massive amounts of gamma radiation. Our friend Banner thought he was going to use it to get supercharged. But this thing's going to shut his team down, permanently.
Let us keep our attention on destroying the parchment. We can deal with the Hulk after.
Oh, come on! I know multitasking probably wasn't a thing in your olden times, but it's the only way I get stuff done. Plus, I can't get Banner out of my mind.
So, what now?
Now comes the hard part, explaining my plan to the team. I wonder if I have time to whip up some diagrams. People love diagrams.